Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's daunting run of fixtures. Can his Manchester United defence cope? Manchester United will face Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City, Arsenal and Chelsea in the next 45 days. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is under pressure. We have only won 2 of our last 6 games in all competitions. We are winless in our last 2 league games. But despite that, earlier on this season it said Manchester United are still fully committed to Solskjaer and have no plans to replace the club legend as manager despite a topsy-turvy start to the season. Solskjaer has run out of excuses. Solskjaer received very good backing in the summer transfer window. John Murtough backed him. John Murtough is our director of football. Not so long ago, John Murtough said we need to keep control and we will not deviate from the plan. Darren Fletcher also backed Solskjaer. Ed Woodward's backed Solskjaer. Well, Woodward said a long time ago he'd back Solskjaer, and he assured that Ole's job was safe even when we was enduring them bad periods. Woodward is leaving Manchester United. It got announced he was leaving back in April when that European Super League came into the equation. Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club, and the Glazers backed Solskjaer, but only because they'd been persuaded to, because towards the end of last season the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. And reflecting on that, there was United fans protesting against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground and outside Old Trafford. Solskjaer did reveal that the Glazers apologised. He said the other week that the Glazers are selling 8% of Manchester United and the shares worth 137 million. The reason the Glazers have been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time is because they've put Man United in so much debt. The Glazers have been at Man United for 16 years. They've been with us since 2005. They purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. Man United made good signings in the summer transfer window. Obviously we brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Aston Villa. It was a bit pointless bringing him in, but we brought him in as a backup. You can say he was Sergio Romero's replacement. We brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We spent around 141 million in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer's endured like 5 transfer windows now as permanent Man United manager. But the vast majority of Manchester United fans are Ole out. Maybe there's still some Man United fans that are Ole in. Will Solskjaer get until the end of this season? Well, revert back to what I've said before. Solskjaer has to win a trophy at Manchester United, I'd say, this season to basically save his job. He's not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, and that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. And earlier on this season, Solskjaer did say that we must leave a legacy of silverware. We should be winning the Premier League this season because we've got a title-winning squad. And earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his current Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble-winning team that Ole was part of. Well, Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. This season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. And I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Ole because he's got big expectations to exceed. Solskjaer will be celebrating 3 years as Manchester United manager in December. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. I think there's an option of a further year. We made a mistake giving him that contract because I can assure he won't see it out, and a lot of Manchester United fans will agree with me on that aspect. But if we do decide to eventually sack Solskjaer, who's going to come in to replace him? Obviously, you've had some Man United fans demanding Conte in to replace him. Some Man United fans have demanded Zidane to replace him. You know, if Solskjaer does get sacked, he will be the fourth permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson. We've already sacked 3 managers already since Ferguson retired. You know, we sacked Moyes, we sacked Van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. There's a lot of United fans that have got strong reservations about Solskjaer's decision making. Because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. And Solskjaer doesn't have a proven pedigree as a manager. That's also a concern. You know, before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He endured 2 spells at Molde. And before Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. I'm surprised that Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager. But like I've said before, the reason he's still Manchester United manager is because he's a legend of the club. That's what saved his job. Disregarding him being a legend of the club, I can assure he wouldn't have been here by now. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Jose Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason he got the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager in that 3-month period. There is positives regarding Ole. Ole has brought consistency back in certain aspects. I like the way he develops the youth. Solskjaer's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, like he showed he would do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Solskjaer has made good signings so far. He's signed 14 players. And we've spent like 441 million under the Solskjaer era. In the summer of 2019, Ole recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Nagala in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he recommended Edison Cavani and Donny van de Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Tom Eaton in, Sancho Varane and re-signed Ronaldo. Ole's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. Ole's got rid of players permanently. He's loaned players out. The players he's got rid of permanently, obviously got rid of Daniel James in this year's summer transfer window. He was the only player we sold in the summer transfer window, so that was disappointing from a Man United perspective. Ole also released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. Back in January, he offloaded Odin Igalo, Fossa Mensah and Marcus Rojo. Ole's also offloaded Borthwick Jackson and James Wilson. Solskjaer's also let players like Young go, Valencia go, Smalling go. That trio were long-serving players at the club. He also let Darmian go. He let Fellaini go back in January 2019. I think he was like the first player to leave under the Solskjaer era. Also offloaded Angel Gomez and Ander Herrera. And he also offloaded Lukaku and Sanchez. The players he loaned out in the summer transfer window, he loaned Ethan Laird out, Axel Tuanzebe, Andres Pereira, Brandon Williams, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. Some progress has been made under Ole, because Ole's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season. Last season he got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, and last season he got us to the Europa League final, and that was Solskjaer's first major final as Man United manager. Unfortunately, we didn't win it. So there you go, and in Solskjaer's first full season he got us a 3rd place finish, and last season, which was his second full season, he got us a 2nd place finish. So revert back to what I've said before. What Solskjaer produced in his first full season, in his second full season, he's looking to build on that this season. But in general, I've got to give Solskjaer credit and say, yeah, he has done a good job. To say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect, I am shocked. Because all he knew when he'd taken over at Man United, it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. You know, all he's managing one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest. And I think Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson, despite me heavily criticising him during his managerial tenure at Man United. But you know, Manchester United have got a very, very good squad. But the problem is that we're not playing as a team, we're playing as individuals. Like Gary Neville mentioned earlier on this season, you've got the likes of City, Liverpool, Chelsea and that, who play as a team. We've obviously got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo's done really well since he re-signed. He's scored 5 goals in all competitions so far. He's got 3 goals in the Premier League. Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month for September, and he recently scored a hat-trick for Portugal against Luxembourg. Before the international break, Ronaldo didn't start against Everton. And don't forget, Neville mentioned that Ronaldo was annoyed with Solskjaer after Man United's 1-1 draw with Everton. Solskjaer got criticised for not starting Ronaldo, but despite that, Solskjaer came out and said that he had no regrets over not starting Ronaldo. I'm expecting Ronaldo to start tomorrow against Leicester. Earlier on this season, it said Ronaldo wants to retire at Man United, then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. Prior to the Villa game earlier on this season, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing for Man United into his 40s. Ronaldo's 36 at the moment, and Ronaldo's already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo's under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week at Man United, so is the highest earner. Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt, and we got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. Ronaldo has won 32 major trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Ronaldo did very well in his first spell at Man United. He scored 118 goals in 292 games in all competitions. And he won 3 Premier League titles, the Champions League, the League Cup, 2 League Cups, the FA Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup, and he enjoyed 6 years in his first spell. As you all know, we are considering a formation change to get the best out of Ronaldo and Cavani. You know, the new formation will allow Solskjaer to play 2 strikers, and I presume it will be Cavani and Ronaldo. I think Cavani is also very, very good. Cavani played against Everton before the international break. Cavani was out with injury earlier on this season. I think Cavani will be leaving Man United next year, but I can't say I want him to leave because he's made an impact since he's come in. You know, Cavani's hold-up play is good, his movement in and around the box is good, he creates good chances and he scores very good goals. Cavani's got under a year left on his Man United contract. It was back in May he signed that 1-year contract extension. Cavani is on over £200,000 a week. Yeah, Cavani has got a very good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of trophies he won when he was at PSG, and he was a long-serving player, was Cavani, when he was at PSG. He said the other week that Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January, and I think Barcelona will reignite their interest in January because Barcelona try to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. Marcus Rashford, he's also very good as well, but he's enjoyed his bad periods at Man United. I thought he was out of form towards the end of last season. Rashford is in contention to play against Leicester tomorrow. He's now back from injury. Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while. Don't forget he had to have an operation on his shoulder. Not so long ago, Rashford scored twice in that behind closed doors friendly game against Blackburn. We need to put Rashford on the left because that's where he's mostly effective. He's far superior on the left to how he is on the right and how he is up top. Rashford's been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. So Rashford's been in our senior squad now for like 5.5 years. And he's under contract with Man United until 2023. He's on over £200,000 a week. You've got Mason Greenwood. That's also very, very, very good. Greenwood's done well so far this season. I think so far this season he's scored 3 goals in the Premier League. There was a long period where Greenwood didn't score, but despite that, Greenwood's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. And last season he signed a new 4-year contract. Most of the time we do play Greenwood on the right hand side. Jadon Sancho, he's a good player, but he's not enjoyed a good start to his Manchester United career. But like I've said before, it does take some players time to settle in. And I've already said that Sancho will do well at Man United, providing Solskjaer uses him correctly. Solskjaer's failed Sancho at Manchester United so far, because he plays him out of position. He's played him on that left wing a few times. Yes, Sancho can play on the left, but he's far superior on the right wing to how he is on the left wing. the right wing Sancho's predominant position, you can also play Sancho centrally. Earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Dortmund's CEO came out and said that Sancho's lack of game time is hurting my soul. We got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million, with add-ons included. He's under contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. You know, you've got Bruno Fernandes, world-class player. He's one of our best players and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Bruno Fernandes has been consistent in a lot of his games at Man United, but on the other side of things, there's been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. Fernandes starts most games. Fernandes has been a Manchester United player now for almost 2 years. Last season he won Player of the Year and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Now earlier on this season it said Fernandes was close to signing a new 5-year contract with Man United worth 250 grand a week with the signing of Ronaldo. At the moment, Fernandes is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Fernandes wants to stay at Man United. He's already made that clear. Donny van de Beek is a good player, but revert back to what I've said before. I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United because he doesn't get enough game time. There's a good chance Van de Beek will leave in January. Don't forget Solskjaer's private view on Van de Beek became public. Solskjaer still believes Van de Beek has an Old Trafford future. And I've said Solskjaer needs to start Van de Beek, especially in the Premier League. Van de Beek's been at Man United for like 18 months, so that's a year and a half. Fabrizio Romano did reveal that Van de Beek is planning to leave the club in January. Many clubs are in for him. It recently said that Juventus opened talks with Van de Beek's agent over a possible move in January. Newcastle have been interested. Barcelona are interested. Everton remain interested. Sky Sports News said that not so long ago. Everton were close to signing Van de Beek on loan, but Solskjaer rejected Van de Beek's exit. He said the other week that Van de Beek's agent is said to be working hard on finding a new club for his client. Earlier on this season, Van de Beek was furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal. Van de Beek was spotted throwing chewing gum in the dugout. Van de Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. Van de Beek told Solskjaer his best position earlier on this season. He reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. And Van de Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. This season is his second full season at Man United. We got him for 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in like 3 different roles. Paul Pogba, he's also very good as well. Pogba's enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. Paul Pogba has already got 7 assists. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. And Pogba did well on international duty with France recently. Now I give you the news on Paul Pogba yesterday. Andy Mitten from The Athletic said that Manchester United have offered Paul Pogba a £400,000 a week contract for him to stay at Manchester United. That would see Pogba become the second highest earner at Man United. At the moment, Pogba receives like £290,000 a week. He said the other week, though, that Paul Pogba wants to stay at Manchester United and sign a new contract worth £400,000 a week. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. Earlier on this season, it said Pogba was very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. Now, Spanish publication AS recently said that Real Madrid were back in the race to sign Pogba on a free transfer when his contract at Manchester United expires at the end of the season. Real Madrid think Pogba could help convince Mbappe to join next year. Real Madrid have been linked with Pogba before. A couple of years ago, Paul Pogba spoke about Real Madrid in his relationship with Zidane. Didn't he? Juventus, his former club, have been in for him. The other week it said Pogba refuses to rule out a Juventus return. Because Paul Pogba did admit he always speaks to his ex-Juventus teammates, and earlier on this season Pogba's agent Mino Raiola suggested that Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. PSG are also in for Pogba. League 10 Sports said the other day that PSG are ready to offer $500,000 a week in wages to Pogba if Pogba decides to leave Man United next summer. PSG couldn't get Pogba in this year's summer transfer window because they got Lionel Messi, and Barcelona want Pogba, and Inter Milan have been in for him before, so he's had a long running transfer saga. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid $89 million for him. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and this season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. You've got Luke Shaw, that's a very, very good left back. Luke Shaw has been a bit out of form so far this season. He was far superior last season to how he has been so far this season. Don't forget though, Shaw recently come back from a minor injury and illness. Shaw's been our first choice left back for a while, and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles last year. Shaw has had a good career at Man United despite the injuries he's had. Shaw's been at Man United for like 7.5 years now, so he's been a long-serving player. I'm sure it said earlier on this season that Man United were in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. Wan-Bissaka, he's a good right back as well. Like I've said, there is aspects of his game that I've got to improve, but despite that, he's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, he's always been superb. This season is Wan-Bissaka's 3rd full season at Man United. We got Bissaka for $50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. You've got Raphael Varane, that's a very good centre-half. I think he's enjoyed a pretty good start to his Man United career. Looked a bit off the pace though in our last 2 games. As you all know, Varane is out with a groin injury for a few weeks. Varane came off injured in France's Nations League final against Spain. Varane went down holding his leg. He got replaced by Dayot Upamecano in the 43rd minute. But yeah, he's going to be a big misses, Varane. We got Varane in a deal worth $41 million with add-ons included. We paid like $34 million up front. Varane's under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. And Varane to Man United was official just before kick-off against Leeds, which was the opening day. You've got Harry Maguire. That's good when he wants to be. You know, he's had his good games at Man United. He's had his bad games. Maguire isn't available for the game against Leicester tomorrow. He has recovered from that calf injury that he sustained in a 1-0 defeat to Villa, but he's not yet returned to full training. Maguire had ligament damage in his ankle towards the end of last season. We overpaid for Harry Maguire. We got him in a deal worth 80 million. So he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive sign at the club behind Pogba. He said recently that Man United is set to offer Harry Maguire a new 5-year contract worth $300,000 a week. We want to reward Maguire as he's established himself as a key figure under Ole. So with obviously Varane and Maguire not available, we're going to have to go with our backup centre-halves, Bailly and Lindelof. And David De Gea, you know, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. You know, he's done really well so far this season. And Dean Henderson, he's also a good goalkeeper as well. So yeah, we have got a good squad. Our squad must be worth around 805 million. There's obviously inconsistent players at Man United. You know, Martial's not good enough to represent the club. Lingard's not good enough. I gave you the news on Lingard yesterday. Reports came out and said that Lingard rejected a new Man United contract offer because of 2 players. Well, last month it said Lingard rejected a Man United contract over playing time concerns. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires at the end of the season. Barcelona and AC Milan will be in the front of the queue to get Lingard on a free next summer. You've got Fred, that's not good enough to represent the club. Lindelof's not good enough. Dalot's not good enough. I don't think Matic is good enough. McTominay's not good enough. So there you go. And obviously you just got like Tellez that doesn't get in our team much. Donny van de Beek doesn't get enough game time, but they're still good players then. Matt doesn't get in the team. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.